India, known to be a land of mystery and diversity, it has much more rooted within its soil. Seething with rich natural resources and diverse cultural traditions, it has been a cradle to world's best-known civilizations. Mountains in the north and surrounded by oceans in its east, west and south, India is a country of varying temperatures, weather conditions and soils. As we move from north to south, we experience different types of culture and variation in food and language. Similarly, diversity can also be observed in soils and crop cultivation. Farming is one occupation which binds the country together. The state of Gujarat, an entrepreneurial and agricultural landmark, is a drought-prone state. Almost 60% of its geographical regions witness drought every 3 years. Recurring droughts in the state has led to several crop failures in North Gujarat, Kutch and Saurashtra. Castor traditionally was cultivated in marginal land by the farmers in Gujarat. It used to be crushed mainly by hand crushers or bullock-driven crushers for producing oil. Traditionally, castor oil was used for oiling the grains and for illuminating the lamps. In the late 50s, it was brought to notice that castor would be the oil for future. It was used as a lubricant and in cosmetic industry and other allied uses which prevailed in Europe and USA. At that time, Brazil was a leader in castor production, contributing to almost 65% of global castor production. In the meanwhile, Gujarat State Agriculture University was actively involved in castor research. They developed a high-yield variety of castor and started to promote it as a drought-resilient crop, which needed less water, minimum pesticides, and has minimal failure. Gujarat, being an entrepreneurial state and looking at the future adaptations of the crop, enthused the farmers to grow castor. The demand for castor oil started growing and became an export-oriented crop. Initially the seeds and later the oil started getting exported. Today, castor as a wild crop grows across the country, wildly sprouting in various places. But commercial crop is concentrated in Gujarat, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. The castor cultivation in Gujarat became a huge success, finally catapulting the country into the castor market as a world leader, currently producing 88% of the castor crop on a global level. Gujarat today boasts of producing 70% of the castor crop in India. The success of castor cultivation in Gujarat is visible by efforts of the farmers and guidance by several organizations and companies. The produce of castor, which was 238 kilograms per hectare in 1960s, has now increased to 1,619 kilograms per hectare in the year 2016. Castor is a plant that is not only suitable for dry lands, but it also fetches handsome revenues with minimum expenditures. In 1966, the crop, which provided a revenue of 7,500 rupees to 10,000 rupees per ton, has now increased to 35,000 rupees to 50,000 rupees per ton. This result is a journey of adaptation of several innovative scientific farming practices by the farmers in the villages of Gujarat. Several specific inputs were provided to the farmers right from the stage of preparation of the land till the harvesting of the crop to gain better yield for better incomes. The castor crop can be cultivated on almost all types of well-drained soils. It is generally grown on light, sandy loam and well-drained medium black soils. The crop grows well in moderately high temperature with low humidity throughout the growing season to produce maximum seed yield. In Gujarat, castor is sown in the months of July and August, while its harvesting commences around December to February. Emphasis is provided on promoting the use of only government-certified seeds for gaining qualitative yield. The hybrid seeds are then treated with thirum for making them fungi-resistant. Cross-ploughing of land is promoted for better aeration and separation of the soil. This is further followed by field leveling and smoothening process with the help of a bullock or a tractor. A mixture of de-oiled castor cake, sulfur and DAP is normally used as fertilizer for increasing the fertility of the soil. Phosphorus is applied in the prepared pits before sowing the seeds. Nitrogen is supplied to the farms for maintaining good soil health in form of chemical fertilizers and castor cake. If deficiency of ferrous or zinc is found in the soil, then required quantity of ferrous sulfate and zinc sulfate is provided. The farmers sow the seeds using the dibbling method, where minimum gap of 5 to 8 feet is left for better growth of the crop. 2 seeds are sown per hole. This is thinned later on by cutting the weaker plant. Once the crop is in the growth stage, urea is provided to the crop as fertilizer for growth acceleration. Since the castor crop is attacked by very few pests, minimum pesticides are utilized. Timely sowing of seeds is very important to avoid the incidence of crop being attacked by semi-looper and gaining a better yield. Ishedu Agrochem Private Limited produces government-certified GCH7 seeds, which are resistant to wilt and nematode and tolerant to root rot. Proper care is taken to avoid soil-borne diseases. Castor should be free from weeds during initial 45 days. For that, 1 to 2 times interculturing and 1 to 2 times hand weeding is recommended. The crop requires minimum water, so drip irrigation system is most suitable. It saves almost 24% of water consumption and provides 36% higher yield. Even though during very hot weather conditions, flood irrigation technique is carried out by the farmers. If castor plants face high water scarcity, the number of male flowers increase, while female flowers decrease, resulting in low yield. Hence, the crop must be irrigated timely. Farmers are continuously trained to understand the physiological maturity of the castor seeds, which is attained when most of the capsules of the spikes would turn light yellow. Castor being cultivated as an annual crop, a multiple harvest method is adapted, where the spikes of castor are hand-picked using a sickle. Leveraging the scientifically designed system for castor cultivation, multiple harvests with an average of 4 to 6 pickings are obtained from the same crop. The harvested spikes of castor are then dried in sun for few days for easy threshing. As castor is a long-duration crop, proper guidance is constantly provided to the farmers to promote intercropping of groundnut, green gram, black gram, sesame and few other crops. A relay cropping of cotton is also carried out to castor for maintaining the soil fertility. Crop rotation practices are also very important. This castor crop, which was identified as a drought-resistant and salinity-resistant crop, promoted under public-private partnership, proved to be a boon for the farmers. Companies such as Giant Agro Organics Limited have initiated farmers' education program and collaborative research programs with state agricultural universities. These efforts have resulted in increase in crop acreage in India. Since 1969, several different hybrids of castor have been released, which includes GCH3 in 1969, GAUCH1 in 1973, GCH2 in 1984, GCH4 in 1986, GCH5 in 1995 and GCH7 in 2007, which has now brought the average yield capacity to 2,000 kilograms to 2,500 kilograms per hectare, which has a potential to grow up to 6,000 kilograms per hectare, involving best farming practices. Currently in Gujarat, the total area under cultivation is 630,000 square kilometer, which produced approximately 1 million metric tons of castor seeds in 2016. Looking at this success, several districts in Rajasthan have also initiated the cultivation of castor. It is not only the scientific cultivation practices which has brought success to the castor business for the farmers, but also direct trade linkages with the companies, international standards of research and development infrastructure, continuous marketing and storage facilities along with easy access to the ports, which has now brought Gujarat to be the global leader in castor industry, exporting castor oil and derivatives to almost the entire globe. Castor, a climate-resilient crop, an eco-friendly and sustainable resource, today has brought smiles on the faces of the farmers of Gujarat and is continuously providing sustainable livelihood and growth to the farmers of the country.